Austin, just first off, how does it feel to get a win on your senior day and your final home game here at Fowler Park?
Yeah, it's great. As season flew by, thinking about it now that it's my last game at Fowler Park. But celebrating myself, the seniors. It's just great to get a win and finish off the regular season with a sweep.
What does it mean too? In addition to the sweep, it's also 7 straight series win in conference play to end the year.
Yeah, it talks about the group, our team. We're a resilient group. There's no clock for this team. We're always fighting, always putting up good at bats. Pitchers are always doing great. So, that's what we're doing. We're just playing San Diego baseball out here.
What's it been like, graduating with this class with Nick, with AJ, and with Andrew?
It's great having AJ and Andy transferring here from their previous schools, and then spending the last couple of years here with Nick. Great guys, great brothers. Talked to them for the rest of my life. So, it's just great to celebrate them and get a win on senior day.
Nothing's going to be more memorable than that 8th inning with Gerv getting the double, then you getting the double, then we see AJ come up with a base hit, we see Mo getting on. What was that inning like?
We're going to think about it for the rest of our lives. I was talking with Jack out in the outfield, talking about my last at bat at Fowler and a couple other things. But, just getting out, hitting that double for my last at bat, I was probably the most excited I've ever been on a baseball field, just kind of ending my career at Fowler Park with like that.
Last night you got the win as well. What's it been like kind of playing both, being the closer of the 9th inning guy as well as the times playing center field?
It's great. Whatever I can do to help this team, I'm here for. But playing center field, I love it out there. And then coming in, closing the games, it's just a lot of adrenaline, doing it for my team. And it just feels great to play center and then come on the mound and finish baseball games.
Tonight, what was it like seeing the way that your lineup produced? It felt like top to bottom, as Coach said.
Yeah, we're a well-rounded group. From 1 through 9, everyone steps up to the box. We're never thinking, this or that. So we have all the confidence in the world for our hitters 1 through 9, and even the guys that come off the bench. This group, we never give up. We're tough. We've been through adversity, so it just shows a lot about ourselves.
A lot during the series, we saw a lot of Howie playing some left field, some center field, some right field. What's that like getting that versatility, especially in that outfield for you guys?
It's unique. It's a really great thing to have. Even talking about Gervich being in left field today, he's been at first base, he's been at third base. Ward's been in center, Ward's been in left, Ward's been at shortstop. So I think that's a big thing for baseball teams is when you have guys that can play multiple positions. And in our case, that's what we have with the guys on our team this year.
You've been hitting the ball pretty well in conference play. I think the last time I checked it was 4 or 5 entering today in conference play. What have you seen really well at the plate, especially during conference play this year?
I'm just trying to be myself, not do anything too big, just sticking to my process, sticking to what I work on with my coaches every single day, and that's just being Aussie, as they like to say it.
What was it like, when you think about the senior class, what was it like seeing Nick get that shutout inning in the first inning, and then you think about at the end of the game seeing Mo get that at bat?
It's great, talking to Sush yesterday, knew he was starting, just telling him it's his day, go out there and do what he does, and then giving him a big hug before he walked out to the mound in the first inning, and then dabbing him up afterwards, giving him a hug, telling him great job. It's a really cool thing for him. And then Andy, he was standing next to Skip the entire game with his helmet on, asking for scouting reports, just being Andy, just being that great guy in the dugout, and then seeing him go up there, taking a big throw swing, nothing to lose. So, it's just a great overall day of baseball for us.
How much does a win like this on senior day give you guys that momentum going into the conference tournament?
Just winning today is great, but like you said, I think we won 7 of our last conference games. So this group's rolling. This group's really resilient, been through adversity, like I said earlier. But, there's no stopping us. We're going to go out to Vegas, win some baseball games, and jump in that pool.
You think about across this year, it's been all these newcomers that have come into the program. What's it been like seeing their growth from the beginning of the season to now, capped off by winning that conference championship on Thursday?
Yeah, like I said earlier, we went through a lot of adversity in the beginning, but that was just us finding our feet and how San Diego baseball works. And once we kind of got the hold of that and sticking with each other, having each other's backs, and then winning Thursday, jumping, celebrating with the team, it's just a great feeling because that's what we work on. The entire fall, we had one common goal, is to win the WCC championship, and we're halfway through that, and it's just time to keep on rolling.
Thank you. All right, Coach, you get to end the season with a win. How does it feel with senior day, with getting the win? How does it all feel to get this win today?
Great. Just to celebrate our seniors on this last game at Fowler Park this year, and to get them all in the game, which was awesome too. Sus started us off, the shutdown inning there, which was awesome, and then And then AJ playing first today, obviously being a mainstay in the middle of our lineup all year. And then same thing with Ozzy being able to get to play center and hitting that 3-hole. And we talked about it before the game, and the time goes by fast with these guys. And with our relationships, we value our relationships with our coaches and our players in this program. And it's a really tight group. And to see everything that those guys have given for this team and this program, the university and the city, it was just awesome to see them go out in style. And you can really see the brotherhood when we announced the guys coming down the line. And I always like paying attention to that, because you kind of get a good feel of like the team. You get a good feel of, okay, the camaraderie, right? Do the guys really pull for one another and love one another? And I'll tell you, if anyone was watching that today, it was just extraordinary watching our guys walk down that third base line in front of the dugout and seeing the whole team they're just going nuts for each guy, and it just really shows the bond and the chemistry and the love that these guys have for one another, and that's what makes the team special, and that's why this team has turned the tides from the beginning of the year to what they've done the later half of the year, and to win 19 games in conference in a 24-game season, again, is another feat. We won 20 last year, and for these guys to win 19, it's just enough to be said about that, man, and just so proud of them.
Mm-hmm. A few weeks ago, we saw Nick get that double in that at bat. It was like seeing Mosey get up there, and even though he struck out, it was like seeing him get that at bat. Yeah,
you saw the dugout erupt. They were so pumped to get him in the game, and they love him, and he's such a great guy. And just trying to give him an opportunity to get up there and get in the game on senior day was something special for us.
Mm-hmm. It was like before that at bat. It was like seeing AJ get that RBI hit.
Awesome. Awesome. To get it's something surreal, right? To get Ozzy and AJ to get up another at bat there in the 8th inning, both of them, and both those guys coming through in their last at bats at Fowler Park. Special, something they'll always remember. Me too.
Mm-hmm. In addition to the seniors, it was like putting together today's lineup and the pitching staff. For example, you think about Aiden playing right field for the first time this year. You think about just some of the unique things that you guys put together today.
Yeah, it's asking a lot out of our guys, right? And it's something that if we want to keep on playing and keep on winning games, we're going to need everybody. We tell them all the time, we're going to need every guy on this roster, every guy on this team. That it might be an inning, it might be an at-bat, it might be a pinch run, it might be a defensive replacement. Be ready when your name and number is going to get called. And so to move guys around and get other guys in the game, you got Venverlo in there, you got Cade in there today. You get Wardy in there, Fitzy in there, and I think every guy in the lineup pretty much had a hit today. And then the pitching was just outstanding all weekend. Just domination, I thought. Strikes, multiple pitches for strikes, getting a ton of guys in the game again today. And we're going to need them all. We're going to need them all in Vegas, and that was kind of our plan going into it. It was, okay, let's make sure we get a lot of these guys in the game, because we're going to need these guys here coming up this next week.
Mm-hmm. That second and third inning, it was like seeing Vince be a part of 2/3 of that run scoring production with the base hit that he had in the second, and then that two RBI sac bunt.
Yeah, it was awesome. What a great at bat. And we talk about it all the time. With 2 strikes, got to be able to touch it, got to be able to put the ball in play, especially with runners in scoring position. And Vinny, not getting a ton of at bats, but he's getting in there, and it's his toughness, it's his will to get in there and stick his nose in there and kind of grind out at bats. And same thing defensively, and he did that. And then that was awesome on the double squeeze with getting the bunt down and being able to get both those runs home and firing up the guys. So that was a special moment.
How much did this team want to win for the seniors today?
Oh, just through the roof. It was right when we walked in the doors this morning for breakfast. Guys were going crazy. They were already fired up for this day, and it's always a special day at Fowler Park when we get to celebrate our seniors, and just a beautiful stadium and beautiful venue, and a great crowd today again to celebrate our team. So it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Kind of mentioned this earlier, but it was like senior pitching, especially as we got towards late in the game. We see like Jamie leaving those 2 runners on, also making the PFP on the bunt play.
Yeah. Yep.
And then too with I believe in the 8th inning with Belcher leaving that runner stranded too.
Yeah, awesome. Big non-X, we call it, on the pitching side, and I thought Jamie battled back. Had a little adversity, and he battled back and made some tough pitches there. Obviously, like you said, he got that bunt attempt to be able to get the guy out at home, and again, things are going to happen. How are you going to respond to that? And I thought our pitchers did a really good, nice job of that today.
Mm-hmm. What's kind of like, how does that feel? Kind of get everybody in the lineup today, and with pitching as well, going into this conference tournament come Thursday for you guys?
Yeah, 100%. Just getting these guys ready for this next week ahead, and again, just trying to use as many guys as possible to get their feet wet in a game situation before we hit the road to Vegas.
Thank you, Coach.
Awesome. Thanks,
Congrats.
guys. Thank you.